we have an exercise that we're gonna launch, or we're gonna go through right now, but wanted to pause to see if anyone had any question. All right, so I guess all is clear. So what we're going to jump into now is an exercise about identifying some key stakeholders. Okay, we shed light on the 3 sectors that we are working consistently in. We know the importance of continuous efforts here in Haiti, and should I say the lack of continuity that some of the projects we see happening in Haiti. Replenish 509 is committed to continuing in diaspora integration, promoting products made in Haiti, and the cultural ecosystem building. So the exercise that I'd like everyone to do right now, our first practice together as a group of putting our brain powers together. If you look at the top central part of the mural board, I'm zooming out so you can see where we are. This is the section that we're going to be working in right now. You see the yellow and the pink boxes. Okay, I see we have some people on Mural. Okay, so the first exercise is about stakeholder identification. Is everyone following me?
Yes.
Yes.
All right, perfect. So the first topic
Yes.
that we're going to dig into is entrepreneurship, okay, which is about promoting products made in Haiti. And within this section and the exercise, the brainstorming that we're inviting everyone to do today is about identifying institutions, best practices, and people from this sector. So let's put ourselves in the mindsets of products that are made in Haiti. And in the future, we're going to have sessions on how to support national producers. And in the light of wanting to support them so that they can export their goods, so that folks in the diaspora can more consistently purchase products made in Haiti at a bit more competitive rates. We know that the Haitian market isn't necessarily competitive today, but au fur et à mesure, we can be more competitive if we have the right structures and systems in place. Okay, we have some of us that have experience in this world. So this exercise is about finding institutions that can help with marketing, help with finding clients abroad, packaging, shipping, thinking through what are the regular challenges that our national producers have. And let's identify those people, those leaders, those institutions, whether in Haiti or abroad, that already play a role in doing this, and where us in Haiti could tap into those resources and further support the national producers who are already producing today, who have their doors open today, and who are still committed to producing in Haiti. We have these boxes up here where we can already go in and write the names, the institutions, the people that we can think about, and identifying them as key stakeholders for that. And what we will do at Connect to Replenish, with your support, is contact them and invite them to the next session as well, so that we can do a deeper dive in that element. What we've noticed within the diaspora is that people want to purchase goods made in Haiti, whether it's cafe, whether it's arts and crafts, whether it's soap, different things. People are more open to purchasing made in Haiti, but they can't access it. And for local producers to ship things out one-off, it's not competitive. And so our project, Replenish IC, is about consolidating different products and creating, let's say, a network of diaspora businesses and organizations that are sensitive to Haiti to purchase. so that our local producers can, have additional buyers and can continue with their production.
Regine, when you asked this question, I was going over my head on what institution in Haiti help with exporting.
Mm-hmm.
And an organization that is there for that, where a small entrepreneur could go and find help. I cannot think of it, no organization.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm in production. I meet young entrepreneurs that are doing transformation product. And if they come to me today, I cannot tell them where to go.
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't know. And I've been trying to find an organization. I can find only an organization that is for diaspora to invest in Haiti, but not to promote goods that are here to be sold abroad to the diaspora, for example.
That's a big problem, huh? That's a big gap.
Yes.
Yeah. The thing that came to my mind, an organization that came to my mind for marketing was IT Brand. I've seen them do some pretty good work. But then again, when Gail was speaking, if it's a new entrepreneur, this is where you're thinking about folks that are trying to really bolster their products. I'm thinking about pricing. So I'm like, if somebody really wanted to have them market their products, I'm like, would they be accessible to those producing most in Haiti? But they're doing good work. But that is where there's always that gap of like, okay, there are these organizations that are available to like Blana or whomever that have like most of the market, but a lot of the smaller entrepreneurs may not be able to readily access these producers, these content creators.
Even Blana has issues with this. So I'm not surprised. I think this is a big gap in the market, and it would be good for us to think through this so we can put a dent there. Because this is an obstacle for our economy, should I say. Blana, who has a big marketing team. I mean, you guys know I was on the inside for 5 years. Their marketing to the diaspora is a joke. It really is, for a variety of reasons. So there's a need. So if Ghana is struggling, imagine companies who don't have the resources nor the network of Ghana. Like, if we want our economy to jumpstart on stuff, this is something that we should take seriously. Anzi, I see your hand is up.
Yeah, I mean, I've had some experience in trying to tackle that problem. And there are three main, I think, contexts that we need to take into consideration. I'm a minority shareholder in a production facility that exports sisal to the US. It's a very niche market, and our clients are not diaspora. They're manufacturers and other for business companies in the US. If you look at the pool of production facilities and products in Haiti for the international market, there's almost very limited production capacity aside from textile and from major business processing facilities. There are none. So when you look at the diaspora as a market for buying Haitian made products, you're looking at more consumption products like cassave, mamba. And the challenge is that in the receiving markets in the US, in the diaspora market, there is very high level regulation for safety and packaging and health certifications. And it's not competitive because we don't produce in mass and we can't be competitive with the same type of products. So my, realization after many years of experience of thinking about the issue is that we should probably try to focus on a strategy where the diaspora can play a role in differentiating local consumption in Haiti for people that are in Haiti. Instead of local 10 million people consuming imported products, trying to reinforce a national consommer local strategy where diaspora that is sending money through remittance that are, then used to buy imported goods would have a more conscious strategy to, hey, listen, I'm willing to send money, but for you to differentiate your purchasing power towards locally produced goods, whether consumption goods that are locally produced. Sorry for the background noise. So I think these challenges are real as far as exporting consumption goods that are not produced on high scale enough that they're competitive with the consumption goods that the diaspora is consuming, but rather to embark on a rationale that the diaspora can actually influence the consumption in Haiti by supporting with their dollars local production, local producers, so Haitian can consume more locally produced goods and services instead of relying on imported goods. So it will boost up, the capacity of local producers. I think that solution is a quicker win than trying to export consumption goods in the U.S., where the competition is very hard. A pot de mamba is $5-6, whereas I can say I have the same Peter Pan mamba, it's going to be $2. So you can't compete with that. Over.
Okay, understood. Do you guys remember Consommer Local, which was this movement led by Nathalie? I forget her last name, and she had like these big fairs. I think she did it 3 years in a row at Pop Canasuc, and her movement that her and several other individuals spearheaded got for example, Giant Supermarket. If you guys remember, they had like every Tuesday locally produced goods were less expensive. So there was different movements there. And it came to a standstill for a variety of reasons. So I think it would be interesting for us to dive deeper into that as well, and maybe include Nathalie and the Consommer Local spearheaders in that conversation that we will have in the future as well.
Hi, Eugene.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think we're touching a very interesting issue right now, which I believe demands some, good, reflections in terms of, as you mentioned, and I think George and Renee, who spoke earlier, touched on some of the issues that I was going to address, which I won't be repeating them. But I think the idea of research onto, earlier efforts of consuming locally, and why it has failed or come to a standstill. And I think you mentioned companies like Brianna still having difficulty, invading, if I want to use that word, the international market. We could look at the experience of perhaps a Barbancourt. What do we know? How much of the diaspora market, or perhaps the larger market, and then what efforts could be done. But also, I think the structural problem that we've had over the years are pretty much, not being very helpful. If you look at the art and the art business, particularly if you look at Croix des Bouquets, Village Noir, these guys are producing, magnificent pieces, of metal, but they cannot even come out of Croix des Bouquets. They had to do an exposition this past week at Quisqueya. They had to pay the gangs so they could, come out, bring those pieces. So I think there are issues in terms of, the security issue, and then, mesh with issues of, low production. We're not producing enough. And I agree with Andy. When I go to the market, I'm trying to get Mamba. I found sometimes Jif, smooth, is much cheaper than Rebo. And I question that sometimes. And then even some other Mamba made, locally put in plastic cans seems to be, more expensive than the foreign one. So what do I do? At this point, I got to watch for my pocket. It's not that I don't want to consume local. If I have to save $2 or $3, the same amount in terms of ounces from buying, foreign imported, if you want to call it that way. Uh, you know, with all the consciousness, I have in terms of, but I have to watch for my pocket. So I think the production is very low. That has to be addressed. And we talked a lot about, boosting production, but we know some of the major importers of certain goods, whether it's rice, whether it's, whatever you name it. So I think, there's, a multidimensional issue to be addressed in terms of looking at ways in doing that, whether it's in art, whether it's in, music, whether it's in, consumable goods. So I think, issues of production, issues of, the public, policies in the country, and of course, versus, some of the trade barriers that have been set up. Even, the Caribbean market that needs some goods, we cannot produce that. Imagine places like the Bahamas and other, they do not produce anything. So in terms of, yam, banana, fruit, we should be able to really, capture that market fairly easily. But there's some efforts by small folks, small, peasants that I've met in the north. They produce the goods, you meet your own bateau, they put them in a small boat and then cross over to give them to the church in Caicos, cross over. So I think, there got to be a national effort, to be able to help and boost that. So public policies are important in the country, and research, and production. I think these are the areas that I think we need to focus within the next, few months or few years to really boost that and put that back on the market and put that back on the scale. So, thank you.
Thank you, Mark. What I also hear in what you're saying is the policy making piece. Our goods are not competitive fast in imported products. And so at the end of the day, we're not competitive. So there's a bit of, policy making so that our goods can become more competitive. Before taking Gael, I would love for us in the background to be thinking of policymakers in Haiti or people who are well-versed in policy making related to what we're thinking about, so we can list them as people to include in the discussion. Gael?
Okay, I think the point spoken by Mark and Andy are real problems, and the low production in Haiti, or if you want to export, you have to be able also to have a minimum, and most of the time the small entrepreneur cannot respond to the demand. So the low production is a real problem. Concerning the cost, I think that today it's an opportunity for the Haitian entrepreneur, because with the foreign exchange, that is the value of the good has decreased. There's an opportunity there to sell our goods. And the other point I want to say, it's for the exporting, we might be able to have a person like, what's her name, Creole Essence, that export castor oil from Haiti, and it's a real success in the States, to maybe have her come and exchange with us how she were able to succeed, because all our production of the castor oil is still made in Haiti. And I think that she had a cooperative effort with women in Haiti that produce castor oil. But I think her model can be replicated in other part of Haiti and other product in Haiti. Maybe we can ask her to share her experience with us.
Let me jump in there. Gael, I think it's a very good point, but also look at the international market and the need for castor oil. knowing that castor oil is also used in airplane, and there is a part in the airplane that needs a lot of viscosity, and that can sustain the heat. And I know there is, a friend of mine who was an aviator was telling me that's, where I think perhaps, you may have a greater market of, number of planes being flight in, all over the place. So there's a need for that, not only for folks to do beauty things in their hair, but, the use of it, and then it's need in the US for the aviation. So I think that may be a point there. But again, the low production is a problem. And as I said, it's a multidimensional crisis that must be attacked in all fronts. With the production, although you mentioned that, yes, I agree in some point in terms of the low rate of the good versus the dollar, that would be an opportunity for us, to really take advantage. That was the path that China took, some years ago. Yes, enjoy and lowering the local currency, but you have to have, high production to meet that and then to accumulate as much and then until you can, at least say, look at ways for, good to have a better standing as you're producing and as you're getting in, more of a sort of a production out in all facets, whether it's comestible, things for, to the arts and music, you name it, so I think that has to be, we have to boost the production. That's important.
Mhm.
And-
Another
Mhm. Go ahead,
Another thing, I wanted to add, having been in the incubator space for a long time, we had helped launch one of the first incubators in Haiti, HVCD. And incubators for small entrepreneurs are here to serve that purpose, right? To help them in finding better marketing, packaging and shipping their products. Unfortunately, like, go through a lot with incubator programs in Haiti is a lot shorter than should be. Like, a business should potentially be incubated for about 3 to 4 years. Institutions like Bunch, Impact Hub, sometimes may not have the proper financing to fully incubate a small business in that way. But I do think that if there is more push to like bolster these spaces that help small entrepreneurs find partners, be it in marketing, be it with clients abroad, be it with packaging, if there's more of a concerted effort to really galvanize those spaces, it could make a significant impact for entrepreneurship in Haiti.
Was there a incubator space specifically that you listed that you think should be part of the conversation, Christina?
Yeah, a Bunch, Impact Hub. There's this, I forget what the other one was called, which is specifically around technology. I'll go look on Facebook. But all three of them, I think, could contribute to the conversation.
There, I put Agrilog here. Agrilog is a newly formed company that's investing in agriculture. And so they have one element of investing in agriculture, and the log element is the logistics for getting the agricultural goods around the country and for eventually exporting once it gets to a certain capacity. I think they would be a good added value to this conversation as well. And Z, I see your hand is up.
Yeah, I wanted to probably mention about the policy impact that we can have. Number one, let's say you have two columns. You have one column of listing all the products or that we are competitive on the international level for our exports. Traditionally, I'm thinking about mangoes, which are, $25, $30 million of exports annually. You have huile de vetiver, castor oil, really like a list of where we already are strong, and we cafe, and we have a strategy to support local producers so they can export their products, and we know that these products are viable and are competitive on the international level. So having a column where we list those 5, 6, 10 products that are currently being exported, that we can ramp up exports towards the diaspora market, and having another column where we have we identify local producers of consumer goods that are producing locally, and that we need to set a set of policies to support those local producers, so their products can be consumed locally and be more competitive from the imported equivalent. So having a set of duty, taxes, and making sure that the government has a import duty schedule that is protectionist to our national producers. Mamba, savon, viande, poultry, whatever that we are able to produce locally that is highly consumed, and that there is a $4 billion import market for. We need to be able to set the import schedule, the tarif, the barrière tarifaire, that will protect those local producers, so that locally produced goods can be protected from outside products. So there is the list will not be that long because there are not a lot of local producers. So that replacement of import goods to locally produced goods is not going to be, we're not going to be able to tackle 100% of what we import, but it's a start. And I think that the Chamber of Commerce is the right entity to make that plaidoyer, that advocacy to the Minister of Finance, which every year sets the barrière tarifaire through the law on budget. So we need to be able to have that capacity as private sector to list out what are the local producers that we think we should support, what are the local products that we think we should support, modify the loi on budget so they could increase the tariff for imports for those comparable goods on one hand, and on the other hand, for the exported capacity that we have in the country, having a branding at the diaspora level, we can support rum, Haitian mangoes, Haitian coffee, Haitian, things that are already competitive on the international market.
I don't know about you guys, but this is giving me so much hope for Haiti. I'm grateful for everyone that's in this room with us today. I think we have a lot of food here on this one board. I'm looking at the time. It's 10:25. And I had asked for you guys' attention until 10:30. I'm just gonna ask that we extend for 5 minutes, just because we started a bit later, waiting for more people to log in. I think that what we have here today is a great starting point for our next conversation on February 11th. The work that needs to be done so that our next meeting is even more fruitful and more productive is looking at, so this board here has what has been verbalized today. I would love for you guys to keep turning the wheels. If anything else comes to mind, I'm a WhatsApp or a phone call or email away. N'hésitez pas. What me and the team will do is wrap this up, send it to you all in an email so that you have it not only through this mural board, but also in an email where you can further think through and add if you want. And so we will take the initiative to contact these people. Well, first think through for the next meeting what we specifically want to address and have answered during the next session, and contact the most relevant to that so that our next conversation can keep building upon this. That's how we're going to do every session. So we're going to end this session with this type of brainstorming, And then the Team Replenish 509, we continue so that the next conversation can keep building from it. And then we have the conversation with the enlarged group of stakeholders so that our thinking can continue developing. And then we move on to the next topic, the cultural heritage, which will be the next session. And then we add, and we do the same brainstorming exercise that we just did for the next meeting. Okay. So just to manage expectations of everyone and also mentally prepare you to come ready to go so that when we start our our next meeting at 8:30 a.m. next month on Saturday, that we can just go straight into it and can have those meaningful conversations. All right, thank you for that. If anyone has any other comments, ideas, send it on this group, on the Zoom chat. We will also be creating a WhatsApp group chat so that the informal conversations can happen. And also, if you guys have ideas that pop up, it doesn't have to go through a formal channel. Feel free to just verbalize it on the spot, and for everyone to feel free to answer it on the spot as well. We want that type of flexibility, also knowing that everyone here is busy and involved in a variety of things. So making it as easy and flexible as possible for everyone.